Have you ever wondered why some older folks refuse to go into a nursing home, no matter their age? At 84, I've made the firm decision to never enter one, and it's not a choice made lightly. It's rooted in years of living, lessons learned, and a deep understanding of what truly matters in life's later chapters. In this video, I'm sharing 5 powerful reasons behind my choice, truths that resonate with many seniors but are rarely spoken aloud. Each reason reveals why staying out of a nursing home is about more than avoiding a building. It's about protecting the very essence of who we are. You need to watch until the end because the final reason might surprise you. It's a rarely discussed truth that could completely change how you view aging and independence. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you like this video. You can help me continue to spread the old age lesson. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like this video, please comment number 1. If you don't like it, comment number 0 to let me know, so I can make a better video for you. Now let's get started. Number 1. Losing personal privacy. One of the most compelling reasons I will never choose to live in a nursing home is the profound fear of losing my privacy, a cornerstone of my identity and dignity at 84 years old. Privacy, to me, is far more than a physical barrier like a closed door or a quiet corner. It is the sacred ability to maintain autonomy over my life, to choose when and how I engage with the world, and to preserve the essence of who I am without the weight of constant oversight or intrusion. At this stage of life, after decades of independence, the thought of surrendering that freedom feels like a betrayal of my very self. In a nursing home, privacy is often eroded by the very structure of the environment. Rigid schedules dictate when you eat, sleep, or receive care. Staff members, though often well-meaning, are a near-constant presence, conducting check-ins, administering medications, or monitoring for safety. For some, this level of attention might feel reassuring, a safety net in a vulnerable time. But for me, it feels suffocating, like the walls of my freedom are closing in, leaving little room to breathe as an individual. Privacy is not just a luxury, it is a lifeline to dignity. It's the ability to decide when I want solitude to reflect, pray, or simply exist in my thoughts, and when I want the warmth of companionship. This choice is fundamental to feeling human, to retaining a sense of agency in a world that often seeks to define us by our age or frailties. Consider the reality of nursing home life. Shared rooms with strangers, where personal space is limited to a corner of a bed or a small dresser. Staff may enter with little notice, driven by necessity rather than disrespect, but the effect is the same, a loss of control over your sanctuary. For someone like me, who has lived independently for decades, the idea of being unable to retreat into my world, to rest or reflect on my terms, is not just inconvenient, it's deeply unsettling. It's the difference between living as a free individual and existing as a managed resident. Take the story of Margaret, an 85-year-old woman I know well. For nearly 20 years after her husband's passing, she lived alone in her modest home, cherishing the quiet evenings where she could read her favorite novels, pray in solitude, or sit in her garden, surrounded by the flowers she'd tended for decades. Those moments were her refuge, a space where she could be fully herself without judgment or interruption. After a fall forced her into a nursing home, she was stunned by how little of that privacy remained. Staff members entered her room to check her vitals at all hours, often without knocking. Her roommate, a kind but talkative woman, kept the television blaring when Margaret craved silence. There was no corner of the facility where she felt truly alone, truly free. She confided in me that it felt as though the last thing she truly owned, her privacy, had been stripped away. The frustration was palpable, but more than that, it was emotionally devastating. For Margaret, and many seniors like her, losing privacy isn't just an inconvenience. It's a profound loss of self, a dismantling of the final barrier between the individual and the outside world. This loss of privacy can feel infantilizing, as though you're a child again, constantly supervised and rarely trusted to manage your own needs. That sense of being watched, managed, or scheduled erodes self-confidence and chips away at the dignity that comes from living life on your terms. At home, privacy means the freedom to enjoy silence, to linger over a cup of tea while lost in memories, or to move through the day at a pace that feels natural. It means having the power to invite others into your world or to close the door and keep the world at bay. Nursing homes, by their very design, cannot replicate this sanctuary. They are built for efficiency and safety, not for the soul's need for solitude. For me, protecting my privacy is not just a preference. It's a non-negotiable condition for preserving my humanity. That's why I will never choose to live in a nursing home. Number 2. Comfort of home and memories. Another deeply personal reason I will never move into a nursing home is the unparalleled comfort and emotional richness of staying in my own home, surrounded by the memories that have shaped my life. A home is far more than a physical structure of walls, floors, and a roof. It is a living tapestry of your existence, woven with the threads of every joy, sorrow, and milestone that has defined you. Every corner of my house holds a story, every creaky floorboard, every scuff on the wall, every photograph framed on the mantel. These are not mere objects. They are anchors to my identity, reminders of a life well lived, and sources of profound comfort that no facility, no matter how well appointed, could ever replicate. To leave my home for a nursing home would feel like tearing away a piece of my soul. There is an indescribable peace in waking up each morning in a familiar bedroom, where the sunlight filters through the same window I've gazed out of for decades. The old wooden dining table, worn smooth by years of family meals, holds memories of laughter, shared stories, and holiday gatherings. The armchair in the living room, its fabric faded but soft, is where I've spent countless evenings reading, reflecting, or simply resting. The backyard, with its gnarled trees I planted as saplings, is a living testament to the passage of time and the love I've poured into this place. These elements are more than possessions. They are extensions of me, imbued with meaning that cannot be packed into a suitcase or recreated in a sterile room. Nursing homes may offer clean linens, modern amenities, and structured routines, but they cannot provide the deep emotional sustenance of living among your history. Consider Eleanor, an 82-year-old friend who still lives in the home where she raised her 3 children. Every corner of that house is alive with memories. The kitchen where she prepared Sunday dinners, the scent of roast and fresh bread filling the air, the living room where her children took their first steps, the hallway lined with photos of birthdays, graduations, and family vacations. Each holiday, when she brings out her carefully stored decorations, she is transported back to moments of love and tradition. Eleanor once told me that leaving her home would feel like abandoning half of herself, as though the memories embedded in those walls could never follow her to a new place. That kind of attachment isn't something you can box up and carry to a nursing home. It's rooted in the very essence of the space you've called home. Beyond the emotional weight of memories, staying at home offers a stability that becomes increasingly vital with age. After 80, change can be disorienting, even overwhelming. The unfamiliar sounds, routines, and faces in a nursing home can create a sense of dislocation, disrupting the steady rhythm of a familiar environment. At home, I know the creak of the stairs, the hum of the refrigerator, the way the morning light spills across the floor. These small, predictable details create a sense of security that soothes both the body and the mind. They reduce stress, foster calm, and provide a sanctuary where I can move through my days with confidence and peace. In contrast, the bustle of a nursing home, its shared spaces, constant activity, and ever-present staff, can feel chaotic, stripping away the tranquility that comes from familiarity. The comfort of home isn't about luxury or convenience. It's about belonging. It's about living in a place that knows you as intimately as you know it. A nursing home may provide a bed, meals, and safety, but it cannot offer the profound sense of being truly at home, surrounded by the echoes of your life's most meaningful moments. For me, choosing to stay where my memories live is not just a preference. It's a commitment to preserving my identity and finding peace in the years I have left. That's why I will never leave my home for a nursing home. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. Number 3. Distrust of institutional care. The third and equally compelling reason I will never choose a nursing home is my deep-seated distrust of institutional care. Over the years, I've heard too many stories, both from trusted friends and through troubling reports in the news, of seniors losing their dignity, autonomy, and even their sense of self in facilities that were meant to protect and care for them. While I acknowledge that not every nursing home is the same, and some may strive to provide compassionate care, the risk of being treated as a number rather than a person is one I cannot accept. At 84, respect and individuality matter more to me than almost anything else, and I refuse to place myself in an environment where those values might be compromised. Institutional care, by its very nature, often prioritizes efficiency over individuality. Meals are served at rigid times, personal routines are disrupted to fit the facility's schedule, and staff, though often well-intentioned, are frequently stretched thin, juggling the needs of many residents. In such an environment, the small details that make someone feel human, being listened to, having preferences honored, or simply being treated with patience, can easily be overlooked. Imagine being rushed through a meal you'd prefer to savor, having little say in how your day unfolds, or waiting for help with basic needs because staff are overwhelmed. These experiences can leave seniors feeling invisible, reduced to a task on someone else's checklist rather than a person with a lifetime of wisdom and preferences. Take Harold, an 85-year-old man whose story I learned from his daughter. After a fall, Harold spent 6 months in a nursing home that was, by all accounts, clean and well-run. Yet he struggled with the lack of personal attention. Harold had always been meticulous about his morning routine, a quiet breakfast with a cup of coffee and his newspaper, followed by a few moments of reflection before starting his day. In the nursing home, breakfast was served at a strict time, and if he wasn't ready, he simply missed it. Staff, though kind, were often too busy to engage in meaningful conversation or to accommodate his small requests. The constant sense of being managed rather than cared for left Harold feeling bitter, restless, and disconnected from the person he'd always been. His experience wasn't one of overt neglect, but of a subtler erosion of his individuality, a loss that felt just as profound. Then there's the deeper issue of trust. Families often place loved ones in nursing homes with the hope of ensuring their safety and comfort, but many seniors, myself included, harbor fears of neglect or mistreatment. Even small acts, being spoken to impatiently, having concerns dismissed, or waiting too long for assistance, can leave lasting emotional scars. These fears are not unfounded. Reports of understaffing, inadequate training, or instances of outright neglect in some facilities only deepen this distrust. For those of us who value dignity above convenience, the possibility of being placed in a system where our needs might be met with indifference is unthinkable. A home, in contrast, is a place of belonging, where care, whether from family, neighbors, or community resources, feels personal and rooted in mutual respect. It's a place where I can trust that my needs will be met with kindness and patience, not as part of a checklist but as an expression of genuine care. This distrust of institutional care isn't about rejecting help altogether. It's about protecting my identity, my humanity, and my right to be treated as an individual. I would rather rely on the support of those I know and trust, or explore local resources that allow me to remain in my home, than risk entering a system where my voice might be overlooked. That's why I choose to avoid nursing homes, not because I deny their purpose, but because I cannot trust them to provide the personal, respectful care I know I deserve. My home is where I can live with dignity, surrounded by the people and places that honor who I am. And that, for me, is worth everything. Number 4. The value of family and community support. One of the most compelling reasons I am steadfastly committed to never entering a nursing home is my deep belief in the irreplaceable strength of family and community support. Throughout my life, I've witnessed firsthand the profound power of interconnected relationships, bonds with children, grandchildren, neighbors, and lifelong friends, that weave a safety net far stronger and more meaningful than any institutional care could ever provide. These connections are not just practical. They are emotional, spiritual, and deeply human, offering a sense of belonging that no facility, no matter how well run, can replicate. Aging does not diminish the fundamental human need for love, connection, and belonging. On the contrary, these needs grow even more vital as the years pass. While nursing homes may provide essential services like shelter, meals, and medical care, they often fall short in delivering the emotional warmth and personal history that come from being surrounded by people who truly know you. Your quirks, your stories, your triumphs, and your struggles. These are the people who have shared life's milestones with you, from holiday gatherings to quiet moments of laughter over a cup of coffee. Their presence is a reminder that you are not just a resident in a room, but a cherished individual with a unique place in the world. Family support, in particular, provides seniors with a profound sense of purpose and continuity. When your adult children call to check in, sharing updates about their lives, or when a grandchild bounds through the door, bubbling with stories from school or a new hobby, it's a powerful affirmation that you still matter. These interactions are not just fleeting moments. They are lifelines that tether you to the rhythm of life. Even small gestures, like a neighbor dropping by with a homemade dish or a friend stopping in to reminisce about old times, carry immense weight. They reinforce that you are not merely being cared for, but that you are an active, valued participant in the ongoing circle of life around you. This sense of belonging is not something that can be purchased with a monthly fee or replicated by even the most dedicated nursing home staff, who, despite their professionalism, are often stretched thin and rotate frequently. True belonging is rooted in love, shared history, and mutual loyalty, the bonds forged over decades of living, laughing, and sometimes crying together. Consider the story of Patricia, an 84-year-old widow who has chosen to remain in her modest home of 50 years, supported by her daughter, Lisa, and a tight-knit group of neighbors. Patricia's daughter takes on tasks like grocery shopping and managing doctor's appointments, while her neighbors pitch in with yard work and minor home repairs. In return, Patricia, on her good days, bakes her famous lemon pound cake for them or regales them with stories of her childhood during the Great Depression. These exchanges are not transactional. They are reciprocal acts of care that enrich everyone involved. Patricia often says she feels richer than ever, because her life is filled with people who see her not as a frail elderly woman, but as a vibrant individual with wisdom and warmth to share. Despite occasional health challenges, she radiates contentment, knowing she is surrounded by a community that values her presence. Patricia's story is a testament to how family and community can fill the gaps where institutional care often falls short. Beyond the family unit, community resources play a critical role in supporting seniors who choose to age in place. Local churches, senior centers, and non-profit organizations frequently offer programs that provide not only practical assistance, like meal delivery or transportation to medical appointments, but also opportunities for social engagement. These might include book clubs, exercise classes, or volunteer opportunities that allow seniors to stay active and connected. For example, a local senior center near my home hosts weekly potlucks where older adults share recipes and stories, fostering a sense of camaraderie that combats the isolation so many fear in old age. These community hubs help seniors maintain a sense of purpose by giving them roles to play, whether it's mentoring younger generations, organizing events, or simply being a familiar face at gatherings. In contrast, nursing homes, with their rigid schedules and standardized routines, can sometimes reduce seniors to passive recipients of care, stripping away the agency and individuality that come from active participation in a community. Family and community support, however, create a dynamic exchange where seniors both give and receive. This reciprocity preserves dignity and self-worth, allowing older adults to feel like contributors rather than burdens. For me, leaning on family and community is not about dependency. It's about embracing the natural interdependence that has defined human societies for centuries. Generations supporting one another, children helping parents, neighbors lending a hand, friends offering companionship, is the bedrock of human survival. I would far rather rely on these organic, heartfelt connections than surrender my independence to the impersonal structure of a nursing home, no matter how professional or well-intentioned the staff may be. This conviction, that family and community provide a richer, more fulfilling alternative to institutional living, is one of the cornerstones of my decision to age in place. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. Number 5. Commitment to self-care and lifestyle. The final and perhaps most personal reason I will never choose a nursing home is my unwavering commitment to self-care and maintaining a lifestyle that preserves my independence. Throughout my life, I've come to understand that the small, intentional choices we make every day about what we eat, how we move, how we engage our minds, and how we nurture our spirits accumulate into a powerful force that can sustain us well into our later years. Aging is inevitable, but how we age is, to a significant degree, within our control. By prioritizing self-care, I am not only safeguarding my physical health but also protecting my autonomy, dignity, and sense of self. Self-care is far more than a buzzword. It's a disciplined, deliberate practice that encompasses both body and mind. For me, it begins each morning with a routine that grounds me in purpose and intention. I start my day with gentle stretching to keep my joints limber, followed by a simple but nourishing breakfast, perhaps oatmeal with fresh fruit or a smoothie packed with greens. I make a point to take a daily walk, even if it's just around my garden or down the block, breathing in the fresh air and feeling the sun on my face. These habits may seem mundane, but they create a rhythm that sustains me physically, mentally, and emotionally. They are acts of defiance against the notion that aging must mean decline, reminding me that I am still capable of caring for myself and living life on my terms. This commitment to self-care significantly reduces the likelihood of becoming overly dependent on others or being forced into institutional care. By staying proactive about my health, scheduling regular checkups, managing medications, and addressing small issues before they become big ones, I maintain a level of control over my circumstances. But self-care is not just about physical health. It's about cultivating mental and emotional resilience. I keep my mind sharp by reading books, solving puzzles, or engaging in lively discussions with friends. I nurture my spirit by tending to my garden, a quiet but fulfilling ritual that connects me to the earth and reminds me of life's cycles. These practices are not just about longevity. They are about living well, with intention and joy. Consider the example of James, an 82-year-old retired teacher who embodies the power of self-care. Despite living with arthritis and occasional heart issues, James has made it his mission to stay active and independent. Every morning, he walks a mile around his neighborhood, using a cane on tougher days but never skipping his routine. He prepares his meals, focusing on whole foods like vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains, which he credits for keeping his energy levels steady. James also stays mentally engaged by volunteering as a tutor for local school children, sharing his love of history and literature. He once told me that these daily choices, walking, cooking, teaching, are his shield against losing who I am. His determination has allowed him to remain in his home of 40 years, surrounded by the memories and possessions that define his life. James's story illustrates that while aging brings inevitable challenges, consistent self-care can delay or even eliminate the need for institutional care, bolstering confidence in one's ability to live independently. Lifestyle choices are equally critical in maintaining independence. Engaging in hobbies, whether it's painting, knitting, playing an instrument, or tending to a collection, keeps the mind active and the spirit fulfilled. Even simple household tasks, like organizing a closet or watering plants, reinforce a sense of agency and purpose. Nursing homes, with their structured schedules and one-size-fits-all approach, often cannot accommodate the personal passions and routines that make life meaningful. When I tend to my own needs and continue doing the things I love, I am not just maintaining my health. I am affirming my identity and my right to live life on my terms. This sense of control is a freedom I am unwilling to trade for the convenience of institutional living, no matter how well organized it may be. At its core, self-care is about more than health. It's about preserving identity. By living in a way that reflects who I am, I maintain not only my independence but also my sense of self. Every choice I make, to eat well, to move my body, to engage my mind, to nurture my relationships, is an act of self-respect. It's a declaration that I am still here, still capable, and still living with purpose. That, above all else, is why I will never choose a nursing home. My commitment to self-care and an independent lifestyle is my foundation for a life of dignity, autonomy, and fulfillment. As we wrap up this video, I hope the 5 reasons I've shared, rooted in independence, comfort, trust, family, and self-care, have given you a deeper understanding of why I've chosen to never go into a nursing home at 84. These aren't just my reasons. They reflect the values many seniors hold dear, speaking to the strength and dignity of living life on our terms. I'd love to hear from you. What stood out to you the most? What's one thing you've learned today that you'll bring into practice in your own life? Please share it in the comments below. Your thoughts inspire and motivate us all. If you like this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.